G'day folks, I'm Andrew from Einhorn Travel Accessories and I am absolutely buzzing. Today my wife Lynn and I are getting set to head down to our favourite ski resort of Zermatt here in Switzerland. Now we're going to meet up with our very good friend Andrew McLeod down there, and we're looking forward to a fantastic long weekend of skiing some of the best slopes here in Europe, or indeed the world. Zermatt is such a unique place. It's a totally European place. You know, you can use in a single sentence English, French, German, Italian, all mixed in together, and everybody there will understand exactly what you're talking about, and they won't even bat an eyelid. It's a fantastic place and we love it. So come with us as we head down to Zermatt. So let's talk for a moment about how to get to Zermatt. Now Zermatt is an Auto-Freistadt. It's a car-free town. There are no cars at all allowed in Zermatt. And I think this gives it a really cool vibe, a really cool feel. It's got a unique charm and a unique character that I haven't found anywhere else. But it does make it a little bit of a ball ache to get to. Not much of one, but just a little bit. You've basically got two options. You can either catch the train the entire way to Zermatt, so whether you're flying in from outside of Switzerland or whether you're traveling there from within Switzerland, you can basically catch the train the entire way there. Your second option is to drive to a place called Tesch. And in Tesch they've got this humongous car park. You park your car there and they've got this shuttle train that goes backwards and forwards from Tesch to Zermatt all day and all night long. Now we've tried both options there. And if you're lucky enough, like us, to live in Switzerland, you can actually get a package deal on your Swiss pass that includes both the train tickets and the lift passes. But it's actually quite expensive, and we find it less expensive to drive, but it also gives us much more flexibility. And the best thing about it is you get to take your car on this very funky car train that you can see here in the video. So I'd like to talk a little bit about where to stay in Zermatt. Now, like most of Switzerland, Zermatt is a place where you can burn through a lot of money very, very quickly if you're not careful. The lift tickets are expensive. A day pass, including access to the Italian side, Cervinia, is about 105 chuffs, or Swiss francs. But it does give you access to some of the best skiing in the world. During the peak of the ski season, hotels also tend to be very expensive as well. Now the first choice you really need to make is whether you want to stay in Zermatt itself or whether you want to stay out somewhere outside Zermatt, like Tesch for example. Now if money is no object and you can stay somewhere like the Hotel Zermatterhof or the Schweizerhof for example, both of them are right in the center of town. They're beautiful properties, but they're going to set you back upwards of easily 500 Swiss francs a night. If your budget is somewhere in the 250 to 350 Swiss franc per night range, then you don't have to worry. You're going to be very well accommodated. Most of the 3+ star hotels that are close to one of the ski lifts are in that sort of a price point. Now let's be honest, you can do a lot worse than a 3+ star hotel in Switzerland. So if that suits your budget, then look for a hotel that's close to your preferred ski lift. Now anything less than that is likely to be further away from the ski lifts, which is still not a big issue because there are lots of free electric buses that circulate around Zermatt and bring you to all the different gondolas and so on. But the hotels in this sort of price point are going to look like they've been decorated by a blind Swiss Austin Powers. Now over the years we've used a combination of all of these different options, and on this visit for example we drove to Tesch and stayed the first night at the Matterhorn Inn. I'll put the link in the description below, and the next morning we caught the shuttle train to Zermatt, dumped our gear in our hotel and then headed off to the Matterhorn for a day of skiing. We've also stayed in Tesch in the weirdly named Typically Swiss Hotel, which was fine for a couple of nights. But these options in Tesch will be significantly cheaper than the hotels in Zermatt. So if your budget is a little bit tight, but you still want to enjoy this magnificent ski resort, then take a look at those options. In Zermatt itself, we've stayed at the Schweizerhof right in the centre of town, which was very, very nice, but it's very expensive. And if your budget can stretch that far, then fill your boots and have at it. Over time, we've kind of found that we like the Matterhorn ski area. So since our first visit, we've tended to stay somewhere around there at various hotels, including the Adonis, obviously named because of me, the Antares, the Plateau Rosa, all of which are very close to the Matterhorn Talstation, and they're perfectly fine for a skiing weekend. Now the Zermatt ski area is extremely well interconnected, but it's basically comprised of four main areas, I would say. There's the area around the Matterhorn, there's the Italian part, Cervinia, there's the area around Riffelhorn and Gornergrat, and then there's the area around Zunega and the Rothorn. To access the Matterhorn area and Italy, you do so via the Matterhorn Talstation gondola. Now my favourite run in this area on the Swiss side is run 83, and as you come down from the initial trail, run 85 from Klein Matterhorn, you make a right hand turn then down onto run 83, and it's a long, wide, red run, and you can really put the foot down and get some speed up and have a bit of space all to yourself. On the Italian side, I really love the red run 46 down from Teodor Pass, which comes down run 6 down to Plan Maison, and I could do this set of runs basically all day long. To access the Riffelhorn and Gornergrat areas, you can also do that from the Matterhorn Talstation, but you can also get there via the Gornergrat Bahn. Now my favourite run in this area is the Red Run 25. It starts at Gornergrat and then runs down into the valley to Gant, and from there you can catch the Sesselbahn up to the Rothorn and Zunega ski areas. Now you can access the Rothorn and Zunega areas via the Zunega Talstation. My favourite run in this area is the Red Run 11, and it comes down from the top of the Rothorn around the back of the mountain peak and down to Blauherd, and it's got a stunning view of the Matterhorn most of the way down. One of the great things about Zermatt is, although it's a huge ski resort with 360 or so kilometres of pistes, you can ski so easily from one end of the resort to the other with all the interconnected pistes and Sesselbahns. Let me know your favourite piste in the comments section below. Now over the years we've tended to favour the Matterhorn and Cervinia areas as it has some fantastic runs and great food options, but other areas are also fantastic, so let us know your favourite ones. And when it comes to skiing and boarding, there really is something for everybody in Zermatt. In all the ski resorts that I've visited in the German-speaking world, there is no shortage of self-service restaurants where you can elbow your way into a fine plate of schnitzel and pommers along with 5,000 other punters. And if that's your thing, then you have at it. You fill your boots, but I'm not going to review those here. For those of you who prefer a slightly more refined on-piste dining experience, I've got a couple of suggestions for you. Now, because of the close proximity to Cervinia and Italy, obviously you head to Italy. Real Italian food, it's hard to beat, and of course it's much cheaper than what you'll find on the Swiss side. And there's a couple of suggestions here specifically. Roccia Nera at Plan Maison, I'll put the link in the comment section below, and Chalet Etoile, also near Plan Maison, slightly up from Plan Maison, near Plan Toilette. So if you're looking for something back in Switzerland, I can suggest the Ice Bar at Trockenesteg. Very, very nice Italian food there. Or if you're over in the Zunega Rothorn area, there's a brilliant restaurant up at about 3,000 meters called the Rothorn Ristorante Pizzeria. Also, I'll put the link down below. So there's other options, I'm sure. If you've got a great suggestion, please leave us a comment in the comments section below so that we can all share that. After a full day of skiing in Zermatt, what's the perfect dinner that you could ever want? Well, of course, it's fondue. And the first time that we ever visited Zermatt, we happened to luck out on a wee restaurant that serves fantastic fondue. Now, it's called the Stadel Restaurant, and it's in the Bahnhofstrasse next to the Hexen Bar. So it's great, you can park your broomstick there and step inside for a fine meal of melted cheese. Another one of my favourite restaurants here is the Walliserkaner. They've got a number of restaurants around Switzerland. They've got one here in Zermatt, they've got another in Tesch, they've got yet another in Basel, and of course we've been to all three. And they serve all the Swiss favourites. They serve fondue, raclette, Käseschnitte, Schnitzel cooked in butter, Kalbsbratwurst mit Rost in Zwiebelsauce. You can't go past this place for a Wiener Schnitzel. Unless, of course, you were in Vienna, in which case you would need to refer to my Vienna video. But I digress. If you're after more of a meat dinner, then there's a little grill restaurant called the Stockhorn. It's both a restaurant and a very, very small intimate hotel with only about 6 rooms. It's quite nice. And just in case you haven't had enough Italian food on the mountain during the day, you can try Molino, which is just next door to the Walliserkaner. And they've got awesome pizzas, pastas, risottos, as well as fish and meat mains. So you're really spoiled for choice with restaurants in Zermatt. And if these ones don't suit your taste, I'm sure you'll find something else to your liking. If you have a favourite restaurant in Zermatt, please share it with us in the comments section below so that everybody can enjoy it. So thank you for taking the time to watch our video about Zermatt. We do hope that you found it useful and hopefully a little bit entertaining. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and just take a moment and consider subscribing to our channel. Auf Wiedersehen.